all the qi connected, moving, connected. So if the yin way connected, the building up, spleen qi building up. So that's why spleen qi building up can treat some external diseases, external symptoms, coughing, cold. You regulate the yin way first. That is so important. All right. So we try to talk a little bit more, but not all of them. Oh, this photo I expressed. This is earth qi, very good earth qi because this combined together. So, all right, I talk about earth. Actually, earth is very mild, gentle. So you see the wood is in charge of the movement. It's very stubborn. It's the initial movement. So you have to mild the move. Use earth to mild it. It becomes good. If the wood is growing too fast, it can violate the body. It becomes a violation. Yeah. You have to moderate. Yeah. So sometimes somebody's how do you moderate? You use lung to moderate. Sometimes people is too active, restless. Is because the wood is not controlled by whom? By metal. Metal qi deficient. You can't control the wood. So you have to address, tonify the metal qi, lung qi, then the liver, mild down. Right? So Tai Chi is training the middle qi because the movement is so gentle, continued, and moderation, actually, connected together. So you have to also connect the mind and the body together. So it's harmonized. The building up the middle qi, actually, that is the immune system. Or Yin-Yang and the lifestyle. So Yin-Yang the lifestyle. Nei Jing talk about the Yin-Yang lifestyle. That is very important. Yin-Yang talk about chapter 2 talk about Yin-Yang, the four seasons are the beginning and end of everything. Root of life and death. Once you're against it, will be sick. Follow it, will be healthy. They're talking about diseases already. So why people get sick? Because you are against the yin-yang principles. So you become sick. Why I'm talking about the yin-yang lifestyle? Because for our job, we are treating the patient. How do you say it's a holistic approach? Holistic approach, not only to make the right diagnosis, make the right formulas, doing the right things, okay, you also need the plus lifestyle consideration. That is very important. Because the cause is against the rules. So I hope every acupuncturist, every herbalist, we should have to do a little bit of lifestyle consultation. For example, one guy have a headache, Yang headache. So, okay, you think cold, stomach cold, 干姜、附子、生姜、吴茱萸, that's the herbs, or use like moxa or something. Better, then, pain again, come back, pain again. So that will be ruin our reputation. Why you are countries, I herbalist, you couldn't fix this problem. Why you just cure just like 2 minutes, just like have a 2 minutes massage, and then just come back again. Why do you ignore? Because this guy, every day his job is go to the freezer to get some stuff. Because he works in a shop, in a warehouse. He'll go to the refrigerators. How do I say that? Freezer. The cold, contact cold. Cold store. All right. If you are not able to point out that, can you say it's approach as a holistic approach? No. So according to the Neijing, so they said this in a very, very serious way. Okay, they're very definite. All right, against the yin-yang will be sick. But fortunately, if you follow it, will be healthy. So treatment sometimes it's not so difficult. You just follow it. But yin-yang, but in Neijing, TCM, it is talking in a very concise and to the point, very concise and to the point. So they not talk about lots of things. For example, you go a long way, you just carry small stuff. If you go a long way, you can't carry too heavy things. So in the long history of TCM, because the existence of Neijing, because they carry very little weight, so they walk longer. So they don't put millions of different things together. It's just a yin-yang principle. But if we know yin-yang principle have 3 implications, we already know. Oh, here he talk about the yin-yang as a yin-yang principle. But how yin-yang principle apply in our life? Eating, sleep, activities, work, emotions. Yeah, that's we can apply. So how do you understand eating? How do you understand eating? How eating follow the yin-yang? So I always check about people's eating. For example, I use this example. Nowadays, lifestyle is like that because you get up very rush morning, not enough time. And if you have enough time, maybe sleep a little bit longer. So then have a very, very simple breakfast, or just even drink a cold milk. Run. So at the lunchtime, busy, short time, very, very busy. Half an hour, 40 minutes. If in half an hour, 40 minutes, you have a formal lunch, is that possible? Is that good lifestyle? No. Because you don't have time to process. All right? To process the food and drinks, you need some time to concentrate. The blood and the qi will go into there, so you need to have some break, a comfortable time, concentration. If you're doing that, in the next half an hour, you're just doing your job, physical jobs, and you walk, thinkings, all the blood floating, come to the extremities, come to the brain. So here it becomes deficient. Food and drinks stuck there. And then, end of the day, families come together, right? For good time, longer time, have a prepared big meal. In the dinner, you have a big meal. Can you digest it properly? Impossible, because that is against the yin-yang rule. Look, yin-yang in the morning and the lunchtime is abundant. Initially, it's a shaoyang, it's rising. Okay, to the top, it becomes very active, becomes fire. Then afternoon, after midday, becomes metal. Slow down, yang becomes decreased and yin increasing, and the bottom, and later on, the yang almost very, very limited. So to digest, we need a yang, we need energy. So I also recommend people have very good breakfast. Because why? Once you have a good breakfast, that's enough. It's enough. It's enough. At lunchtime, you don't have time for lunch. You only grab some snacks. That's enough. Nighttime, very light as possible. As light as possible. Almost don't move. The food and drinks stuck there. But they block energy, block the qi, disturb your sleep. Right? So that's very important, so important. People follow the rules, healthy. Then plus your small jobs, easy. And also, same activities. New Zealand is an amazing country. People are doing so good, perform very well. Sports, amazing. I always said, Kiwi, amazing. It's so good. Soccer, basketball, rugby, amazing. but they can doing better. You re-acupuncture, Chinese medicine help them, they can do better. Why? You have to know what time to do exercise. Exercise. Somebody doing the hot yoga. Hot yoga. Hot yoga is not bad. But if they're doing at night, it will be disastrous. Lose your body's sweatings, your activities, you're active, then disturb your sleep, destroy your yin. Then in the next morning, not enough yang. And if you're too active, that's against the rhythm. Same as our eating. Movement encourages the yang, quietness, stillness encourages the yin. That's the principle. So, in order to help the yang, you can do the activities. In morning, spring and summer, morning and lunchtime. Body works, be careful at midday. Be careful, a little bit, be careful. Midday is transition time. Just these 2 hours, be careful. So from morning, actually before midday, I suggest it's good time. Okay, do exercise. Can encourage the yang. Yang means functions. Functions. Activities, circulations. Right, that's what we need. And from afternoon, slow down, rest as much as possible. To accumulate the yin, all the physical things, all the yin stuff is building up by rest. If not rest, not settle down, the yin won't building up. So, same, if people are injured, physically injured, so what do you recommend? Alright, resting, not exercise. Right? But it's like a functional stagnation, something can be encouraged to do the activities. Right? So that's all different. Western medicine and Chinese medicine are different. But once we know the principles, know the laws, but something unchanged, we can apply. The same as law of emotions, right? And other stuffs as well. Yin-Yang and water metabolism. So Yin-Yang is amazing. If we know the Yin-Yang terms, we know how the water is operating, processing in our body. So I'd like to talk about a little about this one. So nowadays, people get wrong instructions. 8 cups of water, dehydration, talking about these terms. So how many cups of water we need every day? So if people ask me this question, I say it depends. All right, if you run a marathon, all right, how many water you need? Different. If you stay in the desk all day, how many water you need? So, quite depends. The water metabolism. All right, water is very important. How is the process? Water comes in water. Water is cold, dropping down to the body. When it comes to the stomach, your kidney qi supports the spleen qi, ascending the waters, evaporate the waters, then the lung dispersing, distributing the waters to every part of the body. And then some of the water stored in the urinary bladder, in case you're holding that kidney qi. Urinary bladder is a store organ for water. So, once you need to use that, water comes to support your body. You don't use that, accumulate it. Too much, release some. That's how our body operating. What we see is the waters. We compare our body and the environment, we understand what is happening. The waters, sea, the trees, underground waters, you know? Snow, mountain, snows in the mountain, all right? And the rain. We see these photos with all these yin. Yang is behind. Yang is the sunlight. It's yang. The body is the same. All this movement, what behind is yang, yang. So we apply the knowledge of yin and yang. Oh, today I don't have time to talk about the cases. Quick, all right? We know the whole process. So yang is very important. So if somebody thirsty, you don't just pour the water. You need to just encourage the yang. All right, we go a little bit quicker. So why New Zealand is not short of water? Because we have the mountains now, not like Australia. Australia is short of water. It seems to be Australia will buy water from New Zealand later. Yeah, but we never short of water. Because the waters in the mountain have high mountains accumulate the waters. Then, where the mountain from, where is the resource? Which way supply the mountain waters? From all over. So we're not short of water. From everywhere, sky, evaporation, everywhere, supply waters. I bring my families visiting this process, like Peihu, that's the origin, and Huka Falls, then the Waikato River, then they go to the sea. So New Zealand is not short of water. I asked, what's the resource of the water? Actually, the resource of the water, not the reservoir, not the mountain, but is the whole universe. So we're not short of water. So it's not meaningful for us to understand water metabolism. Also help us to understand how we tonify the water in our body. How to tonify. You have to bring the water to the top. That is how to have the lungs function. Lung is the upper stream of the water. So we have to help the lungs functions, then they can generate water. Where to generate water? Okay, talk about the case studies is quite interesting. I only listed some of the cases. Okay, maybe we found the value of the case studies, but we can know a little bit more about the values of the yin-yang. So 60 years old, female, out of breath, 3 days. But he's quite often has these problems. She came to me 1 year before. She always has this problem. It comes out of breath, palpitation, dizzy. People couldn't walk properly. People, his son carried her to go into the nauseous, dry mouth, pale, slippery, rapid pulse. I check his abdominal. So what I'm doing, I check his abdominal. Number 1, number 2. That is like a palace. 9 palaces in the abdomen as well. So I check that. And tender to touch. 1 and 9. 9 and 1. That is fly on the water. Right? Then the purple tongue with dark patches. This lady, when it comes in, it's a deficiency. Deficient. So for deficient, you have to tonify, is that right? But what behind it deficient? Why is deficient? Because it's excessive internally. Outside is deficient. You see here is deficient, like that. All the functions going down. But the deficiencies because of the excessive internally. So that is how we know yin and yang, these changes. Right? So I know it's deficient. Seems deficient. That is. So how do I treat it? 关元阳明拳取持. When I put these 3 points, the symptoms comes down. But only out of breath, still there. So all the things going down, I know the circulation, the blockage has been improved greatly. But why? Out of breath. Out of breath is the lungs function, but the lung is very closely related with heart. Because they are also in the upper jaw. Lung is in charge of qi. Heart in charge of blood circulation. Blood and heart is should be closely connected. When the heart function is weak, then the lung becomes take more responsibilities, because lung and heart involved with pumping the blood. lung helping support assist the heart to pump the blood, right? So we see the symptoms of a lung, oh no, might be from the blood. I saw his pericardium have blood stasis. Blood stasis you can see, small capillaries, dark color. And the gallbladder, I do bloodletting, squeeze blood come out. Then his breath recover immediately. So if we think it is a deficiency symptom, we can use the reduce method. It's dangerous. If a deficiency syndrome, you use a blood reducing method, it's very dangerous. But for me, my judgment is it's excessive internally in blood level, so I do the reducing. Then, internally circulation improved, outside symptom is gone, scarred. So that is yin-yang thinking, is that right? I hope this case can talk about yin-yang's judgment about deficiency and excessive. If they combine together, how do you understand? All right. Second case, vertigo. Just last year, end of last year, this lady, she's 78 years old, but she wrote me. She's living in North Shore, far away. A little bit far away. But he said, I'm very exhausted. I'm lying on the bed for 2 days. For 2 days, I've never felt so uncomfortable. So because she's an old patient of mine, so I think I should have a look because he's unusually uncomfortable. So I think that might be a bit dangerous. So I find sometime the next day, go there directly. So when I saw her, I give her some instructions. Yeah, before I go, I say, you just don't lie so long. Lying on the bed make the chi depletion. I say, you try to move a little bit. Don't lie too long. So when I saw her, sit on the chair, verticals, heavy and tight head, nauseous, tired, stomach tension, sweating. When he pick up something, sweating, out of breath, slippery and excessive pulse in middle jaw. I check her pulse, stuck in the middle jaw. And the legs cold. I touch her legs. I said, do you feel cold? No, I'm not cold. What is happening? Heart yang, heart chi is deficient because the sense, not sense. So the yang deficiency becomes extreme, becomes serious, and the heart chi, heart yang becomes deficient. So that's, you don't have too much sense. What I'm doing, I take a yang deficiency affect the heart, middle jaw block, because the yang deficient, not processing the yin, the food and drink stuck in the stomach. Plus the exterior cold, tensions, headache. Because your middle chi deficient, of course, the external evils go invade, take the opportunity. So he has all those things. I use acupuncture, 百会印堂合谷周之沟. This is my normal practice. Didn't work, 10 minutes. Didn't work, so I withdraw immediately. I know this doesn't work. If adventure you put 10 minutes not working, you have to question about that. So, okay, so deficient. Needles. Needles borrow her own chi.
Yes.
Needles not put extra chi. Not me, I don't have too much chi. Needles regulating herself mainly. Yeah? But not working. Energy is very deficient. So that reminded me, okay, how do I do that? So I check acupressure on her dual meridians. It feels comfortable. Oh, that possibly is the solution because the dual in charge of all the body's yang. If the people have very deficient yang, but only place he has the yang is dual. So I use dual meridians to press it. Because it's a big areas involved. Needles, not very helpful. Just press dual meridians. It feels comfortable. Then, okay, go to the bed and then press gently, press but very strength, firmly. Just guide the yang, support the internal. Bring the yang internally, recover function, help to process it. So, I'm doing this. Later on, I promote this to massage pressure to some more people. This they can do. Oh, this can treat the acute symptom. That's amazing. So after 30 minutes, and plus ginger tea to regulate a little bit, I said, oh, relieved. The block is relieved, verticals going down, tension is relieved, loose, open. So, you see, how important to use the yang to treat the yin. Use the yang to treat the yin. So think this way. Abdominal pain. Abdominal pain recent case. Alright, this is also involved with the yin-yang thinkings. This lady, very strange, 1 year ago, just at the 6th day of her period, he did a massage. Everybody knows massage is very enjoyable and comfortable, right? Massage could be possible. And after massage, he said, is a very strong massage on the back, right? Then abdominal, after massage feels comfortable, but after that, in the night time at 1 o'clock to 2 o'clock, at night, you feel severe pain, very sharp pain in the lower abdominal areas. Then the pain like a tide comes over and over for a few hours. Then the next day, the pattern changed. The back pain, 3 days more. So, since then, every month, she had the same problem, same pattern. 6th day, exactly, abdominal pain. Next 3 days, back pain. So, she's struggling, suffering a lot. Yeah. But during the CT scan, nothing happened. Can't make diagnosis. Might be mitral,osis, they just suspect, but can't confirm. Only you can find is like a mass, lump in her stomach. Yeah, but nothing else. The doctors suggest like a surgery, but she refused. She don't like a surgery, of course. And then, 3 months ago, she did the second massage, the same one. And then this time will be terrible. And she feels the pain all the time, constant pain. The pattern changed. And so I checked his pulse, liver and spleen weak. I found his liver is stressed, and spleen liver weak.